Hello. I can't hear you. Hello. Can anyone unmute and just say whether we can start it? Actually, I'm not hearing anything from Namish's side. I'm not audible actually for you. Just someone else can confirm. Is it something wrong from my side or anybody can hear me? Okay, that's fine. But at least just someone, if you guys can unmute and just say hello. Just I can't hear anything from your side. Okay, fine. But for me, it's so weird that I'm not hearing in response from, yeah, from online. I don't know. Okay, then I will start. I hope I'm audible. I will share my screen. Uh, is the screen is visible? Okay. Okay, then I will start. And just in between, if you guys are lost with the connection or something, please unmute and say at least something. It's very difficult for me to manage in this way. Okay. Okay, I'm starting the presentation. I hope you guys can see my screen. I will just quickly start a short introduction about myself. Actually, I'm not sure how many of you have already been there for my last session during my seminar with Biomedical Association, I think few months before, where I just given a short introduction about myself and my background and studies. And I hope like right now we have almost third year and fourth year students, right? Guys, can you please someone, I don't know, like I can't really hear anything from your side. So if you guys wanted to ask any questions later, I don't know how we are going to communicate in this way. Namish, are you the only one who is managing this thing? Like, is there any other person hosting this session?
Hi, ma'am. Are you audible? Am I audible right now?
Just wait. Let me reconnect to my network. Can you just hold for a while? Hello. Now is it okay? Yeah. Finally. Sorry, it will be from my side then. But I think now it's okay. But it was so weird. Like nobody is talking to me. I mean, you guys are talking. I can't hear anything. Yeah. Okay. This is fine. Thank you very much. Sorry for the. Then I will start again shortly. Before that, can I ask, like, anybody of you already attended my session during the BMA seminar last time? Or is it completely like fourth year or third year students? Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible and let's start. Honestly, I can only stay for hardly 1 hour, then I have to leave actually, but I will try to present the stuff from my side as fast as possible. Then let's keep the session open for whatever questions you have. I just collected few questions already from Namish, like general stuffs about the skills and preparation for interview and something about also, I think, the opportunities in the biomedical R&D field. So I tried to cover these things and try to answer these questions already through the presentation. Like it's very basic presentation I prepared. But if something is not so clear or if you guys need anything further add-ons, then we can discuss at the end. I will put it. Yep, I will put it in the presentation mode. I think there is totally something wrong with my network, but I hope my screen is visible to you, so I will start quickly. Okay, so myself, I'm Nima Tarail Salim. Basically, I'm right now holding the position of a system test engineer at a company called B Brown New Ventures, which is based in Germany, in specific to the city called Freiburg. And during this session, what I'm trying to only convey is basically about my experience and the journey so far, uh, right after the graduation from our college, and what I did in the last few past years. But honestly, like if you're expecting too much regarding the experience and knowledge that I could share in terms of like interviews, what I attended or something like that, I'm really not too much expert in that field, in the sense like I hardly attended so far only three interviews in my journey throughout my master's degree and finally at this job position. So whatever I accomplished or whatever I experienced or struggles or conflicts I felt, I could share, but it will be completely from my perspective. So whatever I'm trying to convey is basically I would like to share only the experiences that I had. Then rest would be like you can connect with other people in the same field and try to seek more knowledge or experiences in the different domains. So basically, The domain currently I will focus too much will be on the general biomedical R&D field, and also the technical job roles that you could explore in the medical device industry field, as well as also if you guys are interested in also to know much about pursuing the master's degree in biomedical medical robotics field exclusively. I'll be also happy to share a few words about it, but mostly we can wrap it up at the end if you guys are really interested. Otherwise, I will make it as general as I could. So the agenda would be like short introduction, which for your information, most of the slides are exactly the same like what I presented during the BMA seminar session. So uh, I'm sorry, like I couldn't make it up too much by this time, but I hope it will be also good for you to know something about the university and yeah, the company, the currently which I'm working on, and maybe some more medical device industries that are leading in the medical robotics field, also is exclusively in Europe also. Short introduction again, recap about myself. So I passed out in 2019, first KTU batch actually. Then after that, what I did is I joined for an internship, which is basically a research internship position, followed by a project associate role at a biosensors lab, which is basically located within the Applied Mechanics Department of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. And if you guys are interested in understanding about how to approach these positions and what are the opportunities available in the R&D field of biomedical department within IITs or any other stuffs, yeah, I can tell few words, but mostly what happened is basically I approached Jessie Miss when I was graduating. Yeah, I think after like I already completed all my exams. I just approached Jessie ma'am and asked like, is there any opportunities that I could explore just for a short-term internship position? And I was just clear that by the end of my degree I really don't wanted to get directly into the industry field or gain some industrial expertise, because I totally wanted to first get into the medical industry field only after acquiring the master's degree. So but I was not super clear about what should I specialize. Honestly, like I was completely like start completely from a scratch position, in the sense like this experience whatever I acquired through my internship, it was hardly I think 1.5 years I spent within the institute in the biosensors lab. They were basically developing this medical optical fibers for clinical diagnostic application. If you guys are interested, I can just quickly navigate through this page. So he's the professor in charge of this lab, that is Dr. VVR Sai. He's the colleague of Jessimis. And basically, if you go through this page, you can see what area he's actually working on. It's a fiber optics field, and usually he's open to take the students as intern. And usually, initially, when you start, the internship position will be generally not paid, but it's a very good starting position, because usually he will try to see whether you are a good fit to this role. If he likes you, then yeah, definitely he will be considering to offer you some project associate role, which are basically like supporting the R&D research projects that his lab is undertaking. And something very good about these opportunities is basically they are the European funded projects most often, or it could also be like Indo-US projects. So they have really very good collaboration and MOUs with abroad universities that are also very leading universities all over the world in the biomedical field. So, but I'm not like motivating you to go only towards the specific lab, but if you explore different research labs in IIT Madras or any other different IITs, you can see different opening positions there, like summer internships. What you have to generally do is basically, if you, I'm not sure through this page where you can really navigate. Mostly, if you go through the research lab web pages or to the IIT Madras portal itself directly, you will be able to see the open positions, especially seeking students in the bachelor's, or sometimes also they ask for master students who can carry out these projects. But there will be openings definitely. So these are the good starting point if you wanted to really gain experiences in the R&D field. If you are really passionate about getting into the maybe research field, and more specifically, you can try to shortlist the research lab according to the domain or expertise you wanted to achieve before getting into the masters, or before getting into the even like the industrial R&Ds. So that's how I basically started my career, my first hand experience. And something also good about these opportunities are basically in IITs. According to my knowledge, at IIT Madras, it was like if you continue for, I think, 1 year or 2 years of project experience, that should be not an internship but a full-time project associate positions or something, you are actually eligible to apply directly the master's program in that specific department under the same professor mostly. Or you can, I think you can also change the department, but I'm not sure about that call. But what happened is, like, at the end, the professor, if he or she is really interested towards your work, they will be really open to offer some master's degree position without going through any gate examination, or yeah, so-called gate score. So that's something I feel like, yeah, that's a good opportunity, like for the students like us. Like, if you feel like you are really like motivated or enthusiastic to continue the research in the same field, you can really approach those professors. So so far my experience were really good. And he's actually a really good expert in the biosensors field. And yeah, mostly in the, it's more or less also inclined towards the application in the biotechnology field. So something, if you guys are interested, this is also a very good starting point. And I would say the best option would also be like right after your graduation you can start these positions, because mostly in IITs, the summer internships, whatever they offer, that timeline is basically overlapping with our semester curriculum and yeah, duration, whatever like KTU already proposed or whatever they scheduled. So most often when I was approaching Minimis, I think, yeah, Minimis, during that time, always wanted to actually try this before graduation, but something conflicting was basically they offer these fellowships or research internship positions during our semester period. So according to the KTU rules, I think still it's the same. You cannot really skip 1 or 2 months continuously. I think you can take the semester break, but I'm not sure about, is it possible you can switch between internship and your semester period at your college. So something that you can check it out, and if not, try to align with the opportunities and look at the timings. Then after that, I came to Italy to pursue my master's degree in bionics engineering, and more specifically, the university's is listed as follows. It was a joint program, like collaborated with the University of Pisa and the Biorobotics Institute of Sant'Anna. Both of the universities are located in the same city of Pisa. And this was a 2-year program. And in the second year, you do have the opportunity to take the specialization either in neural engineering or in medical robotics. And yeah, my specialization was basically in biorobotics engineering. Then afterwards, actually, I did my master's almost for 3 years, which means like in the third year, I actually did my internship and master project with a company called Carl Zeiss Innovation Hub. And that was my first hand experience in a medical company in my career. And this is basically an R&D R&D department of Zeiss, Carl Zeiss. They are basically the pioneers in uh, ophthalmic medical device development and applications. Maybe some of you already knew about it or not, I'm not sure. So they are also having different products and services in other fields like semiconductor and also optics, camera lens. Yeah, such that, but they are really leader, they're really very good leaders in the medical ophthalmic applications, including now they are also proposing solutions of robotic applications in doing the eye surgery and stuff. So here I started my internship, and yeah, if you're interested, you can also just go through the website of the company and see what are the products and research development they are actually undergoing right now. So there my role was basically developing some computational model, finite element model for some specific targeted medical surgical application, which actually continued for almost 8 months. Yeah, during the period of 2023 and 2024. Once I completed my thesis there, then I switched to the full-time position again in Germany, but in different city in a company called B. Brown New Ventures. And this company is again they are also the leaders in Germany, mainly in the medical device manufacturing, but it's not specific to any I mean, it's not specific to any one domain, like one specific interventional application, but they have a lot of surgical consumables and stuff. Now this company is basically a startup of the main parent company B. Brown, and they are basically developing the medical robots for surgical applications. So I am working with the team, robotics team, to develop a robotic device that basically intended for minimal invasive surgical applications. And my role is basically a system test engineer, so I'm like testing the specifications and requirements of developed feature, I mean the inbuilt in-house developed system features. So that's all about a short I mean, it actually extended a bit. It's a short introduction about myself, and just wanted to know, like, do you have any questions regarding the companies or opportunities, whatever I listed here? Maybe you can put it in the chat, and at the end we can maybe conclude with the, yeah, Q&A, question and answer session. But I hope I'm still audible. I don't know whether is there any issue with the network. Okay, fine, so I can continue. Yeah. So these are the same slides that I also put during the last seminar session. So if you guys are interested, you guys can visit the university profile in PISA, and they also actually offer very good scholarships for abroad students, especially non-European students, for 2 years of your master's degree. And also if you wanted to do the internships in other European countries, they also support financially. So it's a really funded opportunities for someone who are really interested in first getting into some specialized master's degree program, and thereafter, yeah, navigating towards your whatever career. And Yeah, this is again a short summary of my company where I'm working under this specific title, and we I'm actually developing, as I said, supporting robotics development team. It includes both hardware and software testing, and basically also taking care of the quality management system. And whatever I cannot actually disclose too much here what device particularly we are developing because we are under the certification. So it's mostly going to be on the market of Europe as well as in US in 2027. So hopefully by that time I will be able to disclose too much of stuff. But in general, yeah, this company is exclusively only developing solutions of robotics that needed to support the surgeon in order to do some guided surgeries in very specific domains of application. Yeah. And let's get into the main objective of this session. I mean, mostly what I understood is you guys really wanted to know about how you can prepare for the interviews and what all stuff, yeah, research, R&D area, and also you guys asked about how to prepare the applications, right? So, I mean, I can share, as I said, my personal experience. So, what I basically did before even graduating, I mean, during my studies, as I said, I tried to seek as much as internship opportunities within India. If you're trying these opportunities, I can also agree with the fact that it's a bit difficult that you can really get into the real MNC companies for internship positions, mainly because like yeah it's almost competitive, and when once we actually had a session with the ex alumni of our MSc itself, I think the batch from Jesse Miss, once we had an interactive session with them, and that time when I was actually in, I think, third year or almost, we were able to ask the questions like regarding career opportunities, same like in this position. So like the concerns that I also put forward was basically why it's very complicated or why it's very difficult for us to get into these positions in the early stage of our studies, career, or whatever. Because if you consider in Europe, it's totally different. Right from your first year of study, you are actually able to apply for the internship or working student positions in the technical roles. So you are gaining first-hand experiences from the companies, or it could be also from the R&D research labs when you are in Europe or like US. So they do have these opportunities in these countries. But when it comes to India, this is totally different story. But still I see like right now some of the companies like Medtronic, Boston Scientific, they actually offer some internship positions, but it's been too long that I actually tracked whether they are still open for the students, final year students like you. You have to check it out, but still the very good approach would be like directly get into the career page of each of the companies whichever you are interested in, and try to see if there are some open positions like internship, and then try to apply directly through their career web page. It doesn't matter like whether you guys are getting the opportunity or not, but what I personally experienced is basically you started to understand about the opportunities, as well as when you are actually applying for these positions, you can really see the required skills what they have already like listed out in their career page job openings. So when you're applying, you can see these skills are something maybe not completely aligning with your profile. It's completely okay. But if you really wanted to have such positions like later as a trainee positions after you are graduate, you are really able to understand these are the skills that you should have definitely, in the sense like for example if you're applying for like a trainee position in developing some biomedical instrumentation in one specific medical device, they would have listed what are the programming qualities or what are the skills, like example like MATLAB or Python or whatever. Those skills must be listed in those openings, and specifically they would have explained like, okay, maybe it could be like nice to have requirements, which means like if you don't have such skills, it's also okay for them if you learn it on board. I mean, during your onboarding session. So it's also the opportunity many of the companies actually still offer, in the sense like, you, if you show during the interviews like you are enthusiastic or passionate about learning these skills through these opening positions, once you are hired, they are really okay with that. But don't feel like if you don't have such skills you are not going to be accepted at all. It might be the case, but it might not be the case also. But this process, like once you started exploring yourself the opportunities and try to build the skills, it's a nice way of starting to understand, yeah, there are different, like, you maybe you will start like researching for one specific a company, what the company does, then you might be able to know what are the competitors in the same field. So in that way you are actually enriching your own knowledge. At the same time, when you graduate, at least you will be able to know these are the list of companies like you really wanted to be in the near future. It need not to be happen like right after your graduation. Maybe it will happen like 3 or 4 years later, like what happened to me also. So I would always suggest, like, at least by the end of your like seventh semester or something, you could really start doing these things. And something I always also suggest to everyone is actually try to participate in hackathons. It's a really good opportunity that you can really expand your network. Something also happened to me is, I first, like, first time, the very first experience of me to get out of our university and participate in such kind of hackathon is with the G Healthcare, which held in Bangalore. And honestly, whatever topic we pitched for this hackathon was really not a big stuff. Or it was quite normal project, in the sense very simple stuff. Like, I think it was something, a voice tracking mechanism for the people who lost their laryngeal cord and undergone some surgery. So some topics related to that. So you, for this kind of applications of hackathons, what these big companies actually conduct, you could really submit like 2 or 3 slides of your research proposal. And if you guys are lucky enough, not lucky enough, mostly you guys will be selected if you present in the way like they are asking. It need not to be something feasible at all. Honestly, it's completely fine, but it's actually the way you approach the topic, and completely like the way you are actually trying to phrase the objective and user need, or end user acceptance criteria or something like that. So whatever, like, if you prepare yourself for this stuff, if you got selected, then you will be invited for this on-site hackathons, like in their R&D like site. For example, GE at Bangalore, actually they do have a really big, I think you guys already knew about it, really big research institute. And once they invite you on their on-site program, like, I think it's conducted 2 days, yeah, 1 day program, but yeah, overnight you have to stay there. 20 groups were totally selected during my time. And what basically they ask you for is, like, you have to work on this 24 hours on the pitched topics and then present it on the next day. But we actually didn't work anything on this topic when we were on site. Honestly, we were experiencing like like that environment, like, because that time they will also you will also get the opportunity to get into their production field. They will give you a nice tour of the I think they already shown us like CT and MRI productions. So we were not doing or working anything on our projects when we actually attended this hackathons, but that was a really good experience and eye opener for me. In the sense, you can see what are the different job roles, how the people are working, what is the environment, and what maybe sometimes it would be also an experience that you feel like, yeah, you really wanted to be a developer or be a test engineer or be a product manager, or because you actually got real experience to interact with the people, like even the CFO, everyone will be there during the hackathons. And something good is also the winner will get the pre-placement offer. Only one group, I mean, I think it actually conducted group wise, so whoever participates in that winning group, they will get all the pre-placement offers after your graduation. And for the rest of the people who just attended, means like that remaining 19 group of people will also get the internship opportunities. So they offered us the same. That was something I really wanted to point out. That's the conclusion or takeaway I wanted to convey to you. So these are the opportunities that will be make your life easy to achieve these kind of internship experiences or opportunities, because you really don't want to go through the typical job application process. Because mainly nowadays through the MNC companies, if you go through the career page, it's I would say it's bit like layered. As you know, like nowadays you have to really go through first the automatic selection procedure, that is called ATS. So once after that, if you shortlisted, then only your application finally reach up to the human HR hands. So these layer of application selection procedure can be skipped out, and if you are just lucky enough, you can get the PPOs or these kind of opportunities. Irrespective of that, if you didn't get that also, it's totally fine. But because once you get into those environment only, you will really understand how much the people are actually putting effort in producing this kind of devices, and what are the different roles that are even open for the early professional job seekers actually. Because during that hackathon they introduced actually this program, that is GE Edison program. uh, i think it's uh, I think it's called GE Edison Graduate Engineer Program exclusively. And these are the program that actually open in every year with very limited number of seats. And it's a kind of like 1 year or 2 year program, where basically you will be assigned in one specific department, like every six, I mean it's 6 by 4, yeah, I think 4 turns are there. So each turn will be of 6 months of on-site in different departments within the company. So basically you are actually acquainted with the skills, like it will be management skills, it will be technical skills that you are interested. So basically it's like an on-site training program provided with a very nice amount of stipend. And it's basically you are recruited as an employee there, but under the title of graduate trainee. It's not only G Healthcare is providing, there are Medtronic, Boston Scientific, but what I understood and recollect is basically these other companies mostly do have this graduate engineer program in their headquarters, which is basically US. So mostly they are recruiting in US. And GE, since it actually already have the center here in Bangalore, that's why I think they have still some openings for the Edison program in Bangalore, or I don't know, maybe some more other cities. So basically you can also see these kind of graduate engineer programs which are available also in India, or if you wanted to like explore these opportunities in Europe, you wanted to first come here and then apply for this position. So those are the graduate engineering training program that biomedical graduates are also completely eligible for. And most often I see like the people ended up in these graduate programs are like the students from computer science or electronics. I don't know why that trend is still going on, because mostly like after biomedical engineering degree, like even from our college, most of the people actually diverge their career into the either completely a different domain. But if you really stick within this field, if you're really passionate about, it's not like something I wanted to say like everyone should be in the same field, but if you are really motivated or like foresee your career in this field, there are n number of opportunities, same as like other graduates like computer science or electronic engineers actually possess or they are accessible to. Most often like these all programs will be also developing you as a software developer, or basically also in R&D or like manufacturing engineering skills, or would be like different like production engineers or somehow different roles. So every biomedical engineering graduates are also eligible for all these programs in that offered by different companies like this. And also something I would like to suggest is gain the certifications like through the program, I mean through the Udemy or Coursera, whatever is possible. It's not like everyone should have the certification at the end for the sake of putting it into your CV. What I suggest is basically if you really wanted like a specific career role, for example like a developer engineer for medical robotics, right after your graduate degree. They ask actually first your experience. Basically, they look for your experience in the same field. If you don't have such experience in the field, you will be able to actually present yourself in a way that you actually gained enough knowledge through your master's degree or specifically through your bachelor's degree, which can also be supplemented with the certifications that will add on to your skills. For example, like a developer, if someone is looking for the skills like rose programming or something, it's not typically something we actually learn from our bachelor's degree, right? From our bachelor's, it is actually a complete amalgamation of like lot of different subjects all together, but that's not actually giving you an in-depth knowledge about one specific field or one specific skill that the job that you're applying for is seeking. So in such cases, maybe it could be a good start, like you can start some basic foundational courses in the area that you're interested in. It's not like you should have like 5 to 6 certification, doesn't matter. Like if it is a one certification program, that's actually enough and good. And you will be able to actually during the interview stage, like when they are asking like what qualification made you to apply for this position, you can freely say like, yeah, I don't have like first-hand experience in this field from a industry domain or through my work experience, but rather I actually did some hands-on projects within this field. I applied these tools, which I actually self-learned through some online certification program or something like that. That's something also I presented during my interview stage when I was freshly applied for the test engineer position, because my past experience is completely different, like different in the sense like I never been in the test engineer role in my life, but they were actually looking for a person who has at least a basic understanding about the test engineering. So I actually gone through some 1 or 2 certifications which could actually introduce to me what are the roles, specific roles and activities, and what are the expectation that a test engineer should bring to the specific domain. So that's what I actually meant by certification. It's need not to be like for the sake of uh, adding something to your CV. It doesn't count in such a way. And yeah, a few things to add on, like you can also go through the links provided here. Maybe I can put it in the chat also. Like there are different summer fellowship program, like not only IITs and NITs offer, there are some different other universities that actually offer during the summer breaks, which are also offered with some stipend, if I'm not wrong. And generally, they require some recommendation from your professors during your application. But once you are actually gone through these things, you'll be able to understand. Still, there are different opportunities during your studies, not right after your graduation. You can explore early in your career, mostly by the end of third year to the fourth year, because these actually put the requirements. These fellowship program already put the requirements, like you should be either third year or in the fourth year. So the first and second year students are not eligible for applying for this. That's about from my side for what you could do during your studies. Then these are just a short overview about what the different technical job roles that you could seek once you're a graduate. Like, I'm not an expert person, as I said, to provide you all the knowledge about what skills should be needed for each and every position. But through my friends and yeah, from the alumni, what I understood is, like, even though you don't have any experience, you will be able to actually ended up in positions like this, like could be a clinical specialist or consultant position, or in the R&D field, or also even as a test engineer in the MNCs, like as I listed in few slides before. So the what actually matters mainly is, if it's actually good if you do have some experience. Experience in the sense, like if you're applying for a clinical specialist, mostly they will look for whether you have some sort of experience in hospitals or in the OR field or something like that. And if you're applying for example, a test engineer position, they will look basically, if the test engineer role is in medical robotics field, like the one I'm working on, they will look whether you have some experience or gained knowledge in the medical robotics field. So if you don't have that experiences, as I said, you will be still eligible. So just look at the requirements. Whenever you're actually applying for any kind of application, just carefully go through the responsibilities and what they expect from your profile. In the expectation, they should have mentioned something mandatory. If the mandatory skills are not really in your resume, then yeah, more or less 90 percentage you are not eligible. But if it's nice to have, if those skills are under the category of nice to have, it means like you are still able to apply for it. And during the interview stage or onboarding stage, not sorry, onboarding interview stage, if they ask the questions from that specific skill set, what they're looking for, and you don't have from the experience, you are very free and honestly able to convince them, like, yes, I don't have this experience from my past job roles, but I actually did part of these requirements or the skills that you are asking for through my internship at the university or somewhere else. So it may not be the real case, but yeah, but you should be able to present yourself in such a way that you are aware about it. Like, this is what you are asking from my side. And if I don't possess such skill, I am really open to learn these things through my probation period or onboarding time. So that's what I said, like, try to keep your mind open and try to be as much as possible in a state like you can you are open to learn as much as you could, provided you are offered with such opportunities. And you could also mention like you actually seek to your alumni or to your colleagues you're working in this domain. So they said that yeah, this environment or this company is actually supporting the freshers in order to acquire these skills during their probation period, in such a way that for me, my company actually supported me a lot during the first 3 months, because I was not possessing any of the mandatory skill that a test engineer should have. Like, for example, there must be some qualified certifications that is needed for the specific roles when working in the company. So my company actually supported me to have on-site training program, and they funded everything. So that's why I told like it's completely possible for everyone. And yeah, so more or less, I think I covered how to prepare your application. So if you wanted to just get more information about preparation of CV and resume, there like a lot of resources are already available nowadays. But make sure that when you are trying for something in Europe or in US, the format actually differs a lot. It's not like what I mean is like the way like you're presenting yourself through this CV. It would be like some sort of chronological order matters, especially in Europe, but it's quite easy and manageable. But every time when you're presenting your documents or application to such companies in specific region, just check in online or seek help from your alumni or any of your peers, just to get it reviewed once at least. If you're preparing your resume or cover letter for such application, what I followed in general is, I when I was during my very beginning, applying for a different job, or even during my internship, I prepared one draft of my CV, and I asked to my seniors who are already working in this field, or to my friends who already got some job opportunities, like whether is it possible that you could review it once and try to get some feedback, or feel free to gather all their feedback and take it constructively and try to adapt it. It's not something like in India we actually follows. I'm not sure, but here everything actually you do by yourself. So you prepare your application, and some of the hiring managers or some of the people really look into the way like you're presenting your past history, like from your education or experience. And honestly, something I wanted to say is, it doesn't matter about your grade or your CGPA. When you're applying to the companies here in Europe, nobody will ask like what you really scored from your graduate degree, or whether you are in the top 10, whatever. So it doesn't matter. So I see like normally in India, we actually try to put our grade like out of 100, we have blah, blah, blah. But yeah, what I try to say is, after coming here to Europe, I actually adapted a bit in preparing this CV and like applications, like where I feel like it is not so necessary that you should showcase like you are intellectually like very brilliant in your studies and stuff. That's not something really they are looking for. Something they're really looking for is actually your skills. Uh, and most often they don't bother about whether we are really studious or something. Everything they will ask during your interview, and whatever they wanted from you will be monitored, including your soft skill, including your communication skill, including your enthusiasm and openness to learn. Everything will be evaluated during an interview, irrespective of your grade and whatever you achieved. So, and interestingly, most often what happens is like the students like who really stays in the like, I mean, for example, from my batch, like initially when we started like first year, I think everyone was like giving very good introduction about I am really interested in this field. I took this bachelor's degree because of X, Y, Z, and I am really seeing it is a perfect combination of biomedical, like medical field and engineering. And at the end, when they graduate with like very good score, I see like they are not right now in this field. They are completely vanished off. Either I mean, I'm not like being too judgmental, but honestly, like at the end, they actually diverge to the different um, job roles or different professional or career field. It need not. I'm not saying like everyone who should graduate should have ended up in the positions in medical device company or R&D field. But if you're really honest about you're passionate in medical device industries, then you should actually continue working on your skills. It may take a bit effort, but it's not the effort that you have to show in your academics or only solely in academics. Yes, it matters if you wanted to diverge your career to the R&D field. Most often your background, bachelor's or master's degree, whatever project or thesis you did and how much you are studious, maybe yeah, it weighs a bit more. But in industry the story is different. So so don't think about it like that. um, that's something I personally experience, and I personally yeah, I witnessed too much. And yeah, many of my friends are now working in the companies like yeah, of course the very leading big companies that even no, even during our bachelor's, no one would have actually think about it in that manner. I mean, people actually initially being too judgmental during our bachelor's degree with what you perform in your academics. Honestly, at the end in your professional career, that's not going to be the case, and everyone could be in a very good position irrespective of what you did only with your academics. But maybe bit effort that you have to put is actually to shape your skills according to the profession or according to the technical job roles that you are seeking for. And linkedin is actually one of the very good platform where you can really connect with the people. For example, I actually started my first profile in LinkedIn, actually through one of the seminar session that I had actually from one of our alumni. um, I mean, I was not understanding anything during that time. Maybe now, whatever I'm saying, maybe you guys are also not really able to digest too much. But something I hope you guys will be able to take away from the session. I hope in that way it will be helpful. So similarly, what I understand during my past experience is like he actually introduced the relevance of creating a profile and networking with the people through this social platform like this. Nowadays, it's not only LinkedIn; there are different ways, but still, I'm still using and more familiarized in this field. I'm in networking through this field. So whenever if you're applying for or if you're getting interviewed for any position, still you can search for the people in the company in the same region, and politely or indirectly first try to introduce yourself and say, I mean, feel free to ask like, okay, um, I got an opportunity in XSX position and I'm getting interviewed for the first time. Just wanted to know about how is the environment and how is the job role and how you feel after your onboarding, something like that. You will get at least a bit of information that will be definitely going to be useful for your interview. And for me, it actually really helped a lot. And one of the other additional tool that I very widely use is actually this Glassdoor. If you actually go to this website, you can actually shortlist or filter your company. Sorry, it's in German. So you can basically filter the interview. I mean, before preparing for the interview, you can actually filter the company specifically with the job role, and you can see here how the people actually listed their questions and experiences through their interview process. For example, someone interviewed for internship position, and what was the experience and interview question will be there. So this is one of the very good platform I used a lot and I found really useful. So it's same as like you ask to some of your friends like what are the questions generally they ask for the interview. So some of them might be giving partial information, and this platform is not giving you everything. What I wanted to say is like at least for the position that you are interviewing for, there will be some of technical question that they generally ask for every candidate, so it will be there and you can see what you could at least prepare a bit from this platform. Yeah, I think it's almost, I wanted to wind it up. Yeah, then this is just about the leading some medical companies like I shortlisted, and something I could recommend is you can go through the profile of this person in LinkedIn. I think Rissa Sahiri. He's the one who really posts a lot about the leading medical companies in Europe and all over the world. I mean, if you are really looking for a good resource, if you go to his, I think you can just look into his post actually. Yeah, he actually posts a lot about the different companies all over the world, including in Europe. And if you guys are looking for a good resource of the companies, get just to shortlist the companies in different countries and stuff, you can actually follow this page. And this I just put something about leading companies in medical robotics field. Maybe if I could share the PPT if you guys need, then you guys can hover over it. And this is one of the leading companies right now in India that is developing a medical robotics, and they're really, really, really good and progressing a lot. They also offer some internship opportunities. Yeah, thank you. That's about all about from my side. And yeah, I'm sorry, like I have maybe 10 minutes more. Yeah, hello. Yeah. Uh, okay, okay, I will try to quickly answer. Why did you prefer higher studies right after college and not prefer industrial exposure followed by higher studies? Yeah, first thing, I first of all, I never attended any placement drive from our college. I was super clear about I really don't wanted to end up in industry or any experience, because I was sure about I was not having any idea about which field I wanted to be in, and I was not having enough confidence in my skills. And I feel like internship would be, first of all, internship would be the right option for me to gather some experience. And I was pretty much sure about I wanted to first specialize in some field, because bachelor's you actually in during bachelor's you actually get to acquainted with different domains, like signal processing, image processing, blah 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 blah. And I was totally not sure about where I am really interested in. So it actually took, like, for me it took actually 1 year to understand my passion and my interest. And I found like robotics engineering is something I was looking for. It seems quite different for me, and while joining I was also not even sure about what this field is really going to be. All the information I got is actually from the, yeah, common research that we all generally do. But I took this decision only because I wanted to nurture my skills, because I was sure before I present or apply to any job position, I wanted to at least understand what skills I was lacking and build upon it. And I feel really confident after my master's degree, because to the company that right now I'm working is something demanding also the skills that I get from my master's degree. What skills you have to adapt apart from academic class lessons? Okay. Honestly, I was really quite different person during my academics. Like 4 years, I only spent everything within the college, only studying. Other than that, the skills whatever I got is basically through the project research associate role that I held from IIT Madras, because during that time you got different opportunity to manage different people from different country, manage the project, interact with the people, build your communication skills. So something that's very important, and that's something like help me a lot, is like present my thoughts and process during even the interview stage. It's very important that you effectively communicate everything. And yeah, that soft skills whatever I learned is actually through my internship and research experience at IIT Madras. And also other than academics, I would say is like I try to expand networking with the people, with different companies, the people, like maybe I will meet someone right now, like while I'm traveling, someone will be working in different company, but we do share a lot of things that like about the way like our company works, how we are actually keeping a very good intercultural environment in our company. So something is very important is like to be effective communication and openness to learn, something like that. If you could go back and give yourself advice, what it would be? Hmm. Advice would be like, yeah, maybe uh, rather than being too much considering your academics should be really great, you should score really good CGPA. I considered a lot during my bachelor's, and I don't really regret, honestly, because I had really good, nice CGPA, of course. That actually made me also to get a very good scholarship from Italy. Actually, I studied bionics without paying any amount. I got almost 30 to 40 lakhs of scholarship amount in the last 3 years when I was completing my degree. So CGPA matters if you wanted to have this kind of funding, blah blah blah. But something I missed is basically like I maybe missed the college real life experience. Something still I regret a bit, but honestly, at the end, I was able to manage. Last semester, we had really good memory and stuff. Yeah, maybe just other than academics also matters a lot. What are some sectors that actively hire biomedical engineers? In India, the biomedical hiring is very good for sales and clinical specialist positions, because the R&D is really still emerging, and even I would say it's really not much change from the last 3 years. So if you wanted to be in the development engineering roles, you have to consider those job roles in Europe or US. But in within India, there are like technical job role for clinical positions, is clinical specialist positions. That is basically like you. There are different companies, as I said, this all Medtronic or Boston Scientific. These companies actually sell the products in hospitals, and there are these roles are basically intended for give the support for the doctors or the surgeons or whoever using this device on site. So there are different job role actively hired, sales, service positions, but R&D, I would say, not too active in India. Then if you are really interested in research positions, then lot of research labs in IIT and ITs and even Vellore Institute, CMC Vellore, they really do have good research project roles actually that give you opportunity to gain your research skills. How important is coding or programming knowledge in biomechanics? Yeah, nice question. I guess something I really hate in my life is coding. Still, I am not an expert. I am working as a test engineer in medical robotics. And still, if you ask me, I'm an expert. No, I'm not at all. So you can survive even without coding and programming. So it depends on the role that you choose. If you wanted to be a developer, definitely coding is really important. But if you are not interested or too much, not, I mean, even I studied robotics, I also do have the opportunity to specialize my courses in programming, like ROS programming and stuff. I never did. I never wanted wanted that. So it's possible. You can still find your career in biomedical field. As I said, this clinical specialist role, test engineer roles, system test engineer roles, like me, or consultant, manufacturing engineer roles. There are different jobs. You can coding is not like very essential and mandatory skill for a career in this field. You will use coding, the part of the coding everywhere, but it's not like exclusively the hardcore coding actually. Sorry, hardcore coding. Recently, there is a trend where students who are learning from India go through IITs and other free courses, but they end up working for other countries. What's your POV on that? There is a trend students to their learning from India through IITs and other free courses. Working in other countries, something you have to understand is basically it's because if you choose or if you wanted to be like the part of developing a product, medical device product, then the right opportunity still, honestly, I can say it's not India. Unfortunately, that's a true story. I mean, yes, there are, like, for example, G Healthcare, and I think Medtronic also do have right now a very good research center at Hyderabad. So there are, but like three, I mean, I don't know whether the career opportunities changed a lot, but even though there are positions, if you apply to these positions like a normal candidate, it was quite difficult during my stage to get into those, even selected for it. I applied, but I applied maybe when I was preparing my master's application. I tried one or two companies, not too much, honestly. But and I also seen many of my friends like who graduated um, uh, within my batch and applied for different companies, and they actually get into such positions on very recently. So initially, like in the first 2 or 3 years, they were really struggling, like either, I mean, the job opportunities in the biomedical field are still yet to be emerged in the, especially in the technical job role positions, really well in India. But something why I prefer to work here, I mean, I could have also come back to India, but and also find some job roles. But if like here actually you are not competing with a very large number of candidates, and here you are not being judged according to your academics or stuff. Something that I quite not happy with what India actually follows. And honestly, even I think in our college itself, I if I'm not wrong, still uh, the MEC, the placement cell, actually still follow the companies based upon, I mean, students are eligible to apply for the companies based on the percentage of their CGPA, right? Am I wrong? Or it's changed, or anyone is open to apply? Namish, yeah, I think you are the part of the placement cell, right? So, do you know, like, still, is it everyone is eligible to apply for the companies, whoever is coming on site for the placements? Yeah, I think maybe fourth year students might know about it. If I'm wrong, just correct me. But as per my understanding, like that time they categorized like the MNC companies, the students should have some CGPA like a cutoff above this, then only they can apply. I don't understand this equation still now. It's not like I applied, I tried and I didn't get it. That's why I'm frustrated and I'm telling this. I never sit for any placement, right? But irrespective of that, something I didn't understand and still don't understand the equation that still we are following in India is basically like the academics really, still I'm repeating it again, academic really doesn't matter there. I knew some of my friends who are really right now in the very great positions in the companies, and if you consider their academics, they had, I think, five, sorry, not five, 10 to 15 supplies during their final semester. and they are now in the very good position of the company. And the students who scored really very good percentage, they either changed their mind or they are not interested too much in this field. No, I'm not judging the people who are too studious. I mean, I also scored really good mark, honestly, not self-praising myself, but this equation still exists there. So you are competing with the candidates like NITs or IITs and the companies like these MNCs. If you're applying for the technical job roles, you have to go through a layer of technical selection process. That's not the case here in Europe or in US. I don't know too much. In US, it's not the case. I mean, Europe, it's not the case. You are really like too much like free, and you're too much actually accessible to these opportunities, I would say. So as a person, I never struggled here. I mean, I right after my graduate degree in masters, I applied for this position and I got it. I'm fortunate, touch wood, but I know some of right now the economy is quite bad, generally like all over the world. So some of my friends or like students like who are passing out right now in Europe are also struggling, but still they are not like left with nothing. At least I'm really hoping that like if provided everywhere, if they do have a clear understanding about what they needed, like as I said, if you lack your skills, build upon it and try to expand the network and try again and again. You might fail many times, but I feel like at the end, the real passionate people are still thriving in this field actually, and that's why like working for other countries, it's based upon. I mean, for me, I tried and I look it up actually to seek opportunities, but I was not getting the opportunity I really wanted. So that's why like people are actually seeking such opportunities. And also like, yeah, financially it also matters. You cannot compare what we are earning there from here. It's also totally different. The amount of work you put in there, uh, that's that work life balance is totally different. So that's why people who start living here in Europe and start working here in Europe really don't want it to go back. But maybe at some stage, if India is actually growing too much, and eventually might be the right place, and we could also contribute through coming back and working up there. Why do you choose Italy for masters? Yeah, I mean, I was also initially applying to Germany. Actually, I got opportunities also from here, but this program of medical robotics was not specifically like, it was so exclusive. Actually, not available in most of the universities, even in Europe, with this specific title, Masters in Bionics Engineering. So I was really driven towards this its unique curriculum. And yeah, and they, if you look at to the university of mine, they have really advanced research lab. And if you ever heard of this Da Vinci surgical robot, that's actually a very well-renowned robot that is used for medical surgeries, and it's based. The company is based in US. So these kind of research labs we had in my university. So I was particular about the curriculum, and yes, I funded with nice amount. I never took any penny from my pocket. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm done with it. Sorry, one thing, Namish, if you're sharing this video, before you send it, can you send me the link? Because I'm actually connecting from my office laptop. So I wanted to see like if something is Yeah, anything else, any tools are that I should? Yeah, before you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, could you? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, before you post the link anywhere, just send it to me. I just want to confirm. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you very much, Namesh, and yeah, thanks for every participants. Yeah, bye.